Welcome to Chia's Tips at 3. My name is Jenny, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about homeschooling on a budget. I would say that homeschooling on a budget is a bit of an art, but also in many cases, it's a necessity. And I want to talk to you about how to implement or reinforce your children's education with resources you probably already have in your home. So the first thing we're going to look at is just a simple math game using a deck of cards. And with that, I'm going to introduce you to my daughters.
Hi, I'm Allie. I'm Jojo. And today we are going to be playing a card game with a standard deck of cards. So, what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle it and cut it in half like we have done. And then you're going to go ahead and just take the top card of the deck and place it down. And so your goal is to try and multiply the two numbers as fast as you can before the other player does. And if you do, then you get these points. So 6 times 6 is 36.
And at the end of the game, you count up your cards, also known as points, and whoever has the most points wins.
Awesome. Do you want to demonstrate around?
24.
So Genoa gets those cards.
14.
To sort of simplify the game, you can drop down to addition or subtraction, but it really is just a great way to work on those fundamentals of math. So another tip I'm going to suggest, our family is huge on board games. Now we have a giant collection of games that we love to pull out and play, but some of them are actually really, really good at reinforcing learning. And you probably have a couple of these in your closet or shelf or wherever you keep your board games. First one, Scrabble. Scrabble is a great way to reinforce spelling or vocabulary words. You might have to tone down your competitive nature if you're playing with younger kids, but it's a great way to, one, have a family night, but also work on vocabulary and spelling. Apples to Apples is another one. This is a game that works on nouns and adjectives and associating them. Verbal logic skills is a huge part of the SAT, and Apples to Apples is a great reinforcer of those skills. We also love Codenames. Codenames is a really popular game that you might have in your closet. Codename works on word association, vocabulary. We've even used it to reinforce geography, as there's several place names that come up in the game. Another one we have you may not have, but it was an interesting game we found, Wingspan. It teaches you all about birds and their habitats, their diets. So we feel a little bit like amateur studier of birds, ornithologist, there's that word. So a lot of curricula, as you are looking for curriculum that's based on language arts or spelling or whatnot, is very structured. But one suggestion reminder I want to give to you is not to underestimate the power of just pulling out a book and reading with your children. So my tip with this, I'm sure many of you are already reading with your kids, but I would suggest when you come across a word that you are unfamiliar with, stop and pull out a dictionary and look it up. This is a great way to help build your children's vocabulary, maybe even your vocabulary. We like to write our words down on a board with the definition, just so we can review them at other times. All right. We did a switcheroo. So I'm gonna bring you over to my girls who are working on puzzles and drawing. We've gotten several great tips for just ways to engage your children that aren't in front of a television or video game. But one way to maybe give yourself a few minutes off is to put your kids in front of an activity and invite in another teacher. We are loving pulling out audiobooks. Audible is actually offering a lot of free children's books that you can use in your own home. So we've been working on this puzzle while listening to Call of the Wild. So if you go to stories.audible.com, that's a great way to find free audiobooks that your children and you can listen to. There we go. So we also are huge fans of using local resources like our library. I know the libraries are closed, but one thing that we've been doing for years is borrowing digital copies of books or audiobooks from our library. If you are a member of your local library, you can make an account on apps like Overdrive or Hoopla and borrow books to your Kindle or a Kindle app or to your phone to listen to if you're doing the audiobooks. So those are some other tips. Again, homeschooling doesn't have to be structured around a curriculum. You can engage your children in learning all throughout the day in very creative ways, that using resources, like I said, that you already have in your home. I think, especially for those of you who might be homeschooling temporarily, we hope that you feel empowered and that you are finding great tips for continuing your children's education. But know that you don't have to buy expensive curriculum to do it. You can do it with things in your home or with free resources that are available online. I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you next week for our Chia's Tips at 3.